Is it possible to cure a kleptomaniac? I would say yes, of course it's possible, but then I happen to know Pauline. Pauline was an intelligent and charming girl, always smart and well-dressed. She was the only child of wealthy parents and could afford to spend her large allowance as she pleased. One would say she had everything, perhaps too much. Yes, that was it. She was cursed with thieving fingers. She didn't want that case. She didn't know what to do with it. Yet she couldn't prevent herself from taking it. And soon it joined the other stolen articles that she kept hidden away. What an assortment. She was a skillful shoplifter and never got caught. But inevitably, her parents discovered her secret.
Pauline, what on earth have you got there?
I'm glad you found out. I'm glad, I tell you, I'm glad. I am a thief.
But this unfortunate kink in her mind failed to respond to the expert treatment of a famous psychiatrist. Then one day, while she was on vacation, Pauline ran into serious trouble.
Make out my account right away, will you? I've got a train to catch.
Certainly, sir. Has all your luggage come down, sir?
Yes, it's here. I'll just tell the porter to get me a taxi.
Very good, sir.
Yes, that certainly proved an effective cure. This is the strange story of a portrait that came into my possession just before the last war. That's it up there, resplendent in a new frame. That is my grandfather, and as you can probably guess, he was a sea captain. But he's been dead for many years now. He was quite famous in his day for his fast voyages in the old sailing clippers that used to race from Australia to Britain loaded with grain. My grandfather was a staunch patriot, and if anything was written on his heart when he died, it would most certainly have been, "Britannia rules the waves." I found the portrait soon after my mother died when I was going through some of her possessions. It revived happy memories of the old boy, and more for sentiment's sake than anything else, I decided to keep the picture. And so I hung it in the sitting room of my London apartment. That was in the summer of 1940. A few months later, London began to suffer from the attentions of the Nazi bombers. And that was when I began to think that there must be something special about that picture. That night, a particularly heavy raid had been going on for some time. I was a bit of a fatalist where bombs were concerned. If I was going to be hit, I felt I'd rather be killed in the comfort of my own apartment. Well, obviously, Grandpa wasn't going to let an ordinary bomb upset him. Then, in 1944, London found itself at the receiving end of Hitler's secret weapon, the buzz bomb. Luckily, I was out early that morning. When I returned at lunchtime, there was very little left of my apartment that was recognizable. Except Grandpa. After that, I would not have parted with that picture for all the gold in Fort Knox. Much to the amusement of my friends, I now took it with me on my travels as a mascot. Perhaps I shouldn't have taken it on that trip to New York. Anyway, I did, and for my return to Britain, I was lucky enough to get a berth on board that great new liner, the United States, on her maiden voyage. She really is a magnificent ship. I had a very comfortable cabin, and as was now my custom, I gave Grandpa the place of honor. I wondered at the time what he would have thought had he known that we were about to cross the Atlantic in as many days as it would have taken him weeks. At the height of the excitement on board, when it was officially announced that the United States had captured the coveted blue ribbon of the Atlantic from Britain, I went down to my cabin for something. No ordinary strain could have broken that cord. Did my grandfather, that staunch old British seaman, find the loss of the blue ribbon too much to take? I wonder. Some years ago, a rich widow, a Mrs. Gilson, was found murdered in her bed, and at the same time, her nurse companion disappeared. On the night following the murder, a friend of mine, well known in medical circles, Dr. George Laking, in the solitude of his lonely cottage, was combining a vacation with some medical research. It was nearly midnight.
Are you Dr. Laking?
Yes, but if it's a doctor you're looking for,
I don't want a doctor. I want Dr. Laking.
perhaps if you stated your business.
I'm sorry I haven't a card. Perhaps this will do instead. Now, may I come in? Keep going, Doctor. Sit down.
Who are you?
Mary Gray.
Mary Gray, the girl who...
Exactly. The girl the police are searching the country for. I shouldn't do anything foolish if I were you, Doctor. I've already done one murder.
So you admitted?
I hated her and she hated me. She only kept me to laugh at me.
Why should she do that?
She was beautiful once. And I... Well, look at me.
You had smallpox as a child.
Even before that, I was ugly. But not any longer. You're going to help me.
I am?
Yes, you, the greatest plastic surgeon in the country. You're going to take this mask of mine and destroy it and make me a new one, a beautiful one.
But...
There are no buts, otherwise this revolver goes off. And there'll be no anesthetics either. I'm used to pain.
Do you think it's a matter of a minute? Take 3 weeks at least. And you'll have to sleep.
Only when you do.
There. What do you think of yourself?
I'm beautiful. Beautiful.
And now, of course, you're going to kill me. Oh, I've known that all along. In fact, I've even prepared my own death. I've done a good job on you there. You're exactly like her.
Like her? Like who?
A girl called Daisy Vernon. She's wanted for murder, too. 3 children.
You devil. What have you done to me?
Oh, you'll hang anyway. But either way, you'll die a raving beauty. Now, I think I'll go and lie down.
One of my best sources of information concerning crime is a senior officer at Scotland Yard, on whom I can usually depend for a very good story.
These newspapers make me tired, Peter. Always carping about unsolved murders. If only they knew.
If only they knew what?
Solving a murder's only half the battle. In nearly all these cases, we know who did it and how they did it. To get evidence to convince a jury is another matter. Sometimes we have to be a little unorthodox.
Unorthodox?
Did I ever tell you about the Marriott case?
No, I don't think so.
An attractive woman. Her undoing was a weakness for fortune tellers.
Come in, my dear, and sit down. You want some advice, my dear?
Yes, you see,
You've just lost your husband.
That wasn't clairvoyance, my dear, just observation. An attractive woman, all in black, with a wedding ring.
Yes, of course. He was killed in an accident.
And now there's another man. Where there's an attractive woman, there's always another man. And you want to know if he's the right one, is that it?
Well, let's see what the crystal has to say. The mists are clearing now. I see a picture forming. I see a man, a dark man. He's working at a bench. A bench at the back of a garage.
No, you're wrong. That was my husband. He was there every Sunday. That's where it happened.
And now I see another picture. I see a car at the top of a slope. I see you at the wheel. I see that car move slowly down the slope. Faster, faster, faster. Into the open garage and... I see blood.
Stop! It's not true.
It wasn't an accident, Mrs. Marriott.
I didn't know that he was there.
He was there every Sunday morning.
Nobody knew that I was in the car.
But we know now, Mrs. Marriott. Thank you, Madam Zaza. I'm a police officer, and I have reason to believe that you were concerned in the death of your husband. I must warn you that anything you say...
Superstition and reason seldom go together. Superstition breeds fear, and fear breeds panic, the most frightening of human emotions. A little while back, I was invited by a friend of mine, John Sullivan, whom I hadn't seen for some time, to visit him in the country. It was late evening after dinner on the day of my arrival.
It's getting near the time now. So I'd better tell you my real reason for asking you down.
I might have guessed there was an ulterior motive. Nevertheless, I shouldn't complain, as it doesn't seem to have affected the excellence of your brandy.
Exactly a year ago tonight, I killed a man. He died in this very room. Oh, it's all right. I didn't murder him. I didn't even mean to kill him. He was a bestial type of man, a poacher and a thief. His name was Silas. He lived in a hovel down by the river. They say that he'd been abandoned by some gypsies years ago. He was evil, Peter. Terrifying evil.
How did you kill him?
He broke in here one night. I came down with my shotgun. And as he ran across the garden, I shot him. I meant to shoot low, but I got him in the back. Luckily, our local constable heard the shot and came round to investigate. Just before Silas died, that old clock of mine began striking 11. And with the hate of centuries smoldering in his evil eyes, he cursed me. I'll come back, Mr. Sullivan, he said. When that clock strikes 11, a year from the day, I'll come back and get you.
But surely, John, you don't believe...
I believe anything of old Silas, but I'm ready for him.
I can't see if that can be of much use against him now.
Maybe not. I'm taking no chances. Shh. When the clock strikes 11. out, John!
I believe it to be true that the margin between sanity and insanity is very slender. It hangs on a thread, so to speak, or on the ticking of a clock. Andrew Johnson, who is quite a character in his way, should know about that. He's a clockmaker and jeweler with a shop in Westminster. Don't you find these clock ticking get on your nerves?
Oh, you get used to it, but I know what you mean. I know of one man who was driven mad by it.
You interest me, Andrew. What happened?
Oh, come on. I must lock up. But I'll tell you as we go. He was found here one morning a few months ago, locked in the clock room by this grill. He'd obviously been trying to get out, but his mind had gone completely. We can only guess what actually happened, of course, but my theory, which was confirmed later by police records, was that he was a petty jewel thief. I locked up and left the shop for the night. Sometime during the day, he must have hidden himself in the cupboard in the clock room. It must have been pretty frustrating for him to realize that he couldn't even get to the front part of the shop where the jewelry was kept. Then, to find that his every exit was barred. How long he spent trying to open that lock, we don't know. But we do know that at 9 o'clock, the clocks began to get him down.